like an old,
She's
like an old lady driving. Just is there a head?
They don't make those. Here's the thing. I did used to sit on a phone book when I drove. Okay.
I know.
Last week.
That happened. Okay.
I'm saying sometimes you just see the little grapefruit head and not the whole lady. So I thought that's what was happening.
No, don't feel bad for her, Chris. Okay, because feel bad for me. I drove with her, driving for a good 15 years before she told me she couldn't see over the hood.
I can't see over the dashboard.
Oh no!
My life was in danger every minute.
Wait a minute, but didn't you? Who paid who back? Angela, was it you that abandoned the car when there was a spider with Frances in it?
Abandoned the car or saved myself and tried to save her?
Or let me run up on an embankment in Santa Monica.
First of all,
I'm sorry.
You weren't even going fast.
Can I have some nostalgia music? I'm sorry. Tell the story again. I forget the story. So Angela was driving? Is that what's what?
I was driving.
Uh-huh.
In a large, all white, which, what the heck is that?
It was the tiniest white spider you've ever seen in your life.
You know what? We'll just go with that subjective. The thing was massive. It was like a toddler. And it was coming down, and I saw it, and I had a split second, Stephanie. I had a split second to make a life-saving decision for both of us. And so I said, jump! And I opened the door.
Now, did you put the car in park? Did you put the car in
No!
We were idling. It's like a little island, like a little small residential street. Like we were barely going 25 to 40 miles.
We rolled up. She jumped out the car.
She left the car and drive and jumped out of the car.
Yeah, duck and roll. Duck and roll.
With me in it.
So now,
I said jump.
So the little lady, even though you instructed her to jump, the little lady was still in the car that was moving.
With the giant spider. And so when I rolled to the embankment and dusted myself off, I was like, would you get out and jump?
All right.
Frances, what else am I supposed to do?
Do not go with Angela V. Shelton of the Detroit Sheltons back to Michigan with her, particularly the University of Michigan. Is that where you went? I think it is. Did you?
It is.
Yes.
And I've been in that is. I will never go to that library again.
It was closed last month after staff discovered venomous spiders in a storage facility. 3 Mediterranean recluse spiders were found late last month in the Shapiro Undergraduate Library, where Angela V. was educated.
Mm-hmm. Jen, I'm telling you, that's not a coincidence. Yeah. They know some child there is working on some way to defeat them, and they knew it.
Mm-hmm. So you would not be the educated Angela V. Shelton that we know had this recluse spider attack happen when you were at the University of...
Well, this is the thing. That's why I usually was in the graduate stacks, because there are a lot of people don't come in them as much.
Right.
But I'm just saying, you think that wasn't on purpose? Every other university with decent research facilities needs to go check right now.
Yep.
The building was being treated for spiders this week, and I believe your recommended treatment for spiders is blowing up.
Call it a loss.
Yeah.
Call it a loss.
Those are books, Angela.
We can get other books. You can send in a team for anything that can't be replaced. I mean, Amazon got everything. What do we worry about?
Angela, it's not generally for book burning, Frances, but in the case of spiders,
blowing
up books. Blowing up books.
They took the building. They took the building.
We want to win the war. We're going to lose some buildings. We're going to lose some cities. Okay. I don't know what's going to happen to most of Arizona. There are a lot of spiders there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Spiders and 2 centrists of senators for our taste. Okay, let's
blow up.
Yeah, but one that you think you can take on.
Blow up the spider buildings and blow up this filibuster. Let's do it. We're in the Black Power hour. Let's do it. Okay. I couldn't fit enough isms on my shirt for this current iteration of the Republican Party. Sexism, racism, homophobia, transphobia. So some of them aren't isms, but you know what I'm saying.
I think the filibuster is the whitey bluster.
Right. Literally. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. I where are you guys on this whole? The $15 minimum wage. So that why are there things we've never heard of? The parliamentarian. I'm like, what?
Exactly. Exactly. Here we are, and we're facing. This is number one. I am excited and happy about the Biden administration because we are actually having in the middle of a fulsome, real discussion about what people need to survive and exist, especially during this pandemic. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So the Democrats pushed to pass the minimum wage in the COVID relief bill. Was delivered a likely fatal blow. So they can strip it from the final COVID relief package. negotiate with Republicans to pass a narrower minimum wage increase separately, or they can leave it in subject to a procedural vote on the Senate floor, which will ultimately kill the provision unless we kill the filibuster, which we should.
Yeah, it's a horrible. It's only there to help slave owners. Like, just get rid of it. Like, it's ridiculous.
And then Chris and I could get at least one dream, for God's sakes. Kamala Harris could choose to overrule the parliamentarians. She could do it in a headdress and roller skates to Xanadu. And it's a win-win-win-win. I mean,
win-win-win-win-win.
Need her to do that.
I think there's just politically no reason, in my view, not to. It's wildly popular. It needs to happen. It's a greater good. I don't care who's against it. Give them 2 years of it changing and they'll be fine with it. I mean, so it's like the reality is we've got to stop having the minority. They lost. They're in the minority. They should not get to hold up a single bit of agenda.
Yeah. And
it is a ridiculous concept.
And we got 2 years. We got Go ahead.
No, I was going to just say that, here's my thing. I get that your fears in Kansas that you don't want to, run people out of quote unquote jobs. But the reality is that I don't care where you are, because, if you're California or New York or Kansas, $7 an hour, you cannot live on that.
Yeah.
You can't live on $8.
And people don't understand what it costs us in general, because all those people have to be on food stamps and Medicaid and all of these other government things, because it's not a living wage. And so it's
I think we really need to get back to this idea that I understand citizens. A lot of, we've had a Supreme Court that thought differently, but the reality is that corporations aren't people. And this overly concern for companies. Let me tell you what you don't have a right to. You don't have a right to a business that doesn't fail. And I'm sorry. And I know that sounds harsh, but the reality is that's not a right. The right to have a business that doesn't fail doesn't exist. That has nothing to do with individuals in this country. That wage, $15 an hour, is a garbage wage, in my opinion. You're still nowhere near. I don't know how you live in most places, even on that. And the fact that it has taken, I'm telling you, Reverend William Barber said it best. It's taken Black people over 400 years to get to $8 an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
We haven't raised it in 7 years. I mean, or excuse me, 12. I'm sorry, 12 years.
12, I think.
12 years. Yes, I'm sorry, I misspoke. But it is, and we were saying, listen, pedal to the metal, man. We have 2 years. Do you think average Americans who are waiting in food lines understand about the Senate parliamentarian and reconciliation or not, or whether the 60 vote, the filibuster? And by that, I don't mean they're stupid. I just mean we barely understand it. We marinate in this for a living. I'm just saying what they're going to know is, did I get help before I got my job back? Did I get my job back? Right. Did I get a shot? Is my kid back in school? That's what they're going to care about.
With all of this, after I voted for you in the freezing cold, at the risk of COVID, to give you the majority, you were afraid to deal with the parliamentarian. Like you didn't want to get rid of the filibuster, which we've known we need to get rid of since I was born. Like, it's like, come on.
Yeah. And by the way, we were saying, so the acting Capitol Police Chief yesterday, Pittman. I mean, this is chilling. Just what is going on in Congress, to the extent that they're actively white supremacist groups talking about blowing up Congress during the State of the Union and killing more Congress people. Just give me cut 8 first. Yeah.
Although we knew the likelihood for violence by extremists, no credible threat indicated that tens of thousands would attack the U.S. Capitol. Nor did the intelligence received from the FBI or any other law enforcement partner indicate such a threat.
Okay, but this was the key part here.
We know that the insurrectionists that attacked the Capitol weren't only interested in attacking members of Congress and officers. They wanted to send a symbolic message to the nation as to who was in charge of that legislative process. We know that members of the militia groups that were present on January 6th have stated their desires that they want to blow up the Capitol and kill as many members as possible with a direct nexus to the State of the Union, which we know that date has not been identified.
All because Republicans won't say this election was not stolen. Joe Biden won in what Donald Trump's key people said was the freest and fairest election in our lifetime, and he won by a landslide. They will not say it.
Well, I don't know why they meet with them at all. In my view, we're not being obstructionists. These people don't believe the last administration is over. Just let them go do your job, govern.
Yeah.
Right.
And they are. The administration is doing amazing things in all areas. But the reality is, we elected these people in to be the majority, not to be the minority.
Yeah.
And not to kowtow.
Yeah.
Not to, Chuck Schumer, I love you, but do not bend one bit.
Yeah. They wouldn't.
Done with Chuck. He doesn't have what it takes. I think that I need somebody in that position who's more Pelosi-esque.
Yeah. Some balls.
Elizabeth Warren, you got plans.
Some balls.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, what?
Senate Majority Leader Elizabeth Warren says who? What? Huh. Oh, good idea.
I'm just saying, somebody who will look them straight in the eye and be like, I'm sorry, you didn't win.
Right.
So,
right.
Let's move on, because we're not going, you can't, and I need people to hear this. I watch it all day on MSNBC and other news programs. It's like, hear and understand that a huge number of these elected representatives are in fact white nationalists.
Yeah.
They're not going to compromise.
Yeah.
They are fascists who voted against a democratic election.
Yeah.
Stop trying to appeal to them.
Yeah.
And I feel good that the Biden administration hasn't done as much of that as I was worried they were going to do, that they're steaming ahead. But we need our representatives in the Senate, in the House, in the legislative branch, the one branch that makes law. We need them to do that also.
Yeah. We didn't go through, all this voter suppression and
That's right.
Blowing up the post office and all of this to get back the White House, the Senate, and the Congress, to be haunted by, I don't know, bipartisan compromise, and then John Goodman's creepy thumb on that casino commercial on MSNBC.
Oh,
Since you brought up,
you're so right, Stephanie. It's the worst.
I mean, we got to deal with motors. We got to deal with John Goodman's creepy finger. It's
so creepy.
It's too much. Okay.